Hello, my name is Sean Stennett. I've lived in Colorado Springs all of my life and watched it grow. I've worked in marketing for much of that time. Let's cultivate a marketing community and tell their stories. This is Marketing Colorado Springs podcast. Introducing Clint Wright of Turning Tree Productions. Well, hey everyone, welcome back to Marketing Colorado Springs podcast. Today I'm here with Clint Wright from Turning Tree Productions. Clint, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit and tell us about what you do and who you are and what your company is about in a nutshell.
Sure. Yeah, we're a full service video production company. We're based in Woodland Park, but we service all of the greater Colorado area as well as, beyond pretty much anywhere in the United States. But yeah, main focus, we love working with local businesses and getting their brands just polished and looking great.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I've been in the industry in Colorado
Mhm.
for about 11 years now.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome being able to connect with so many great businesses in the area
Yeah.
and you, Sean. I mean,
Hey.
stuff like this is great. Yeah, stuff
Yeah,
like this
fancy
is
meeting
great
you. Yeah,
for the
yeah,
for the
yeah.
community.
Yeah. I love that. I love that we connected and got a handshake in here. We met through Steck Insights, kind of indirectly through Brian Steck, our fearless leader. And Steck Insights is the web design is the company that promotes and powers this podcast. So shout out to those guys. We build awesome websites. But you said you're in this industry for about 11 years. What services do you guys offer over there at Turning Tree?
Yeah, so like I say, full production. So I mean, we can do everything from pre-production, production itself, and post-production. So a lot of what that entails is, planning out the shoot
Hmm.
and getting to know your business and what's going to be the most beneficial for you, and then developing a strategy to move forward with producing the videos. I mean, we can do scripting, we can do shot listing, location scouting, prop building, anything like that that we need
Cool.
to then create what we want to have for the final product. So yeah, editing services, video production, editing services.
Yeah.
If you just need content and like for events, anything like that, we can go and deliver raw footage to you as well. So yeah, pretty
Cool.
much all of your all-encompassing, video production media needs is what we focus
Very
on.
cool. Very cool. It sounds like an all-inclusive kind of a thing. So to rewind back a little bit though, um, was there a point in your life when you were like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a video storyteller. How did you end up on this career path? What launched you into this industry, and how did you end up here?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've been asked this question a lot.
Huh.
Just because it is such a unique industry, right? It's not something that is promoted in school or whatever, that it's like
Right.
this is something you can do. I feel like that's a lot of the times people just kind of fall into this.
Uh,
Um, but yeah, for me, it's kind of funny because if I really look back at it, I've always been into movies and film, and
mhm.
that movie magic
Yeah.
is it's always been obsessed with movies. So I just remember in my high school, I went to a pretty small high school.
Okay.
So I think we had a big class and we graduated with under 100 students.
Okay.
So there wasn't a lot of those unique extracurricular like film club or anything
Yeah.
like that. So really
Yeah.
my first experience that I had with creating a story through video was, I think it was maybe 10th or 11th grade English class,
Oh,
and one of the options was we could do a review or basically like recreate this book that we were reading, and I think the it was about the butterfly effect. I forget the name of the
mm,
actual book,
hmm.
but maybe it was called that. Either way,
Yeah.
so we had to. One of the options was we could recreate it visually through video, and I was like, okay, well that sounds fun. I knew nothing
I
about video at the time. I
yeah.
mean, I took my parents' camcorder that still
Uh-huh.
recorded on tape, and we shot every single scene sequentially with no
Yes.
no takes, just
Yes.
all one take, everything. So that's gold. I
You
mean,
do
I need to go back and find that tape
I
because
was
I know that's a treasure right there. But
dude, yes. All
but
right.
yeah, so
I'm
so
gonna give you a month. I need to see that on your YouTube channel. Post haste. Yes, and please.
yeah,
And it's of course
yeah, yeah.
Butterfly Effect starring Ashton Kutcher. Um, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah, right. No, I
That's
was
so
like,
cool.
wow, some of my classmates, I was like, cool, we're doing this in one take. That's amazing. But, that was the first time where, uh, you know, we were getting a little off topic
Yeah.
and I felt the passion, right? And I was like, I
Yeah.
want this to be right. I want this to be good.
Yeah.
And I remember like cussing out
Uh-oh.
loud and I was in my parents' house and my mom just looks at me and was like, oh no, I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this. So yeah, that was like the first
Busted.
experience.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was trying actually I started out in college doing
Mhm.
um business,
Okay.
like management basically classes,
Yeah.
because I wasn't exactly sure where I wanted to go.
Mhm.
But then I got into a radio club there and
Oh,
I was
cool.
like, I love this because of how they had that set up
Yeah.
and who was running the club. She was super cool. She really let you just experiment and
Nice.
do what you wanted to for a radio show. And so I
Nice.
love that freedom and I really enjoyed that. So I was like, okay, cool. Like maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to go into becoming like a radio DJ.
Mhm.
And so I did that in community college. And then when I went to the 4 year college, I was like, they also had a great radio club there. And that's one of the reasons I went to that college. So, a lot of people got hired to go into radio from that
Nice.
school. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I got that experience and it was totally different.
Yeah.
And I kind of started thinking about it a little bit more and a little bit more, long term down the road. And I'm like,
Sure.
I don't see this being something that is, sustainable for the
Yeah.
future, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I don't even listen to radio that much. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Right.
so so that's why I kind of shifted my interests back to, my other passion, which was film and storytelling and
Yeah.
and creating that. So then I got into that and took all those classes. And once college was done, I moved. So I originally am from upstate New York,
Oh, okay.
kind of right in between Buffalo and Rochester, and so
Got it.
that's where I went to school and everything. And then
Mhm.
I moved out to Colorado after that, and immediately started working for a established studio that's in the Springs.
Cool.
And I worked there for almost 5 years,
Okay.
and started my own business. So that's
Nice.
kind of my
That's
background in a nutshell.
career path in a nutshell. So how long have you
Yeah,
been running Turning Tree now?
about 5 years. Yep.
Nice, nice. So five
Yeah.
years helping someone else out, which is so cool. Wetting your beak and getting, the industry experience that you need, and then 5 years doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Totally.
Super cool.
Because I mean, so much of the stuff in this industry, and I know we kind of talked about it in the past a little bit,
Yeah.
is so gate kept.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
was that's you learn so much from just being in the industry and working, alongside those that they won't necessarily tell you their trade secrets, but you learn them on the job. And I think that helped a lot, yeah, to get me to where I'm at and being able to provide all of the services that I can effectively, and with that knowledge base. So,
I think that's so great. And I love what you're saying about gatekeeping too, is because like that's, historically, probably about 10 years ago when I started graphic design and website design and stuff like that, it seemed very like, we have our clients and, this is mine and you stay over there. Like people were very kind of territorial with stuff. But
mhm,
as I've seen this town grow and then this industry grow with it, we are very community driven and very you know, like, hey, like even if you're in a niche, like there's plenty of for everyone to go around. So
mhm,
that's a lot of the vision behind this podcast too, is just like, well, we're stronger as a community. Like, why don't I feature people like Clint? Why don't I feature people like Neon Pig? Why don't I feature all these awesome people who specialize in certain industries and different things, um, and show their strengths and feature them all in one web page? That way, when people are looking for a video production specialist in town, they can just find you through this one all-encompassing place. And hey, what a good thing, you know? And hey, like, here's a nice business feature of Turning Tree, and then here's a 30-minute conversation with Clint, the owner. Like, how cool is that? So yeah, you know, that's kind of the idea
Right.
behind what we got going on. But
And
anyway,
also,
yeah, yeah, please.
I was gonna say also, like, I believe in creating the best product that I can. So I want to
Yep.
focus on where I have my skills and where I can do the best work. So
Yeah,
I don't know how to create websites. You know what I mean?
exactly.
So I leave that to you. I leave that to the professionals that
Yeah.
do that, and that is what you focus on. And then we work together to create the best possible outcome.
Exactly, exactly. And I mean, hey, you know, we can synergize and tap into each other's strengths, and I can be like, well, yeah, I do know a video guy, and his name's Clint, and he's a super cool dude. He lives in Woodland Park, and their power went out today. Uh, we were talking about that a little
He'll
bit.
be editing tomorrow.
Right. Like, you know,
Yeah.
that's part of the fun of living in a place where, you know, it's raining down here, it's snowed a foot up there, and yeah, down the power lines or whatever ended up happening, who knows, you know. But anywho, so you know, moving forward into the future, you know, you've been doing your things for 5 years now. From your perspective, why is video such a powerful tool in modern marketing?
Yeah, I would say the short but sad answer is nobody reads anymore.
Mm,
Our attention spans are
mm,
so limited because we've been conditioned by social media and fast, quick
yep, yep,
changing things on the screen
yep.
that yeah, it's just tough and it's sad, but that's the reality. I mean, when people are online and they're trying to, you know, there's just people's lives are so busy now too. You
Yeah.
know, they'll skim things and they'll miss certain things that you're trying to portray in text, and you know,
Mhm.
whereas video, you know, they're locked in. And even if they scrub, okay, some people I know, you know, hit the 10x button and they're just scrubbing through and it's but
Right.
they're still getting that information, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I would say that's the biggest thing. And then the other thing is video is everywhere,
yeah,
right? It's not
yeah,
just on our TVs anymore. It is everywhere. You
that's true.
watch probably at least 15 or more videos, depending on how active you are online, every single day. You know what
So
I mean?
true.
And especially what's really interesting now for companies, and I think that this is a big thing for businesses, right?
Uh-huh.
That um all social media platforms are really pushing video and they're
Mm.
pushing your feed, right? Your reels that you're scrolling through.
Yep,
So
yep, yep.
people aren't even looking up specific things with and they're still being introduced to the idea and they're seeing your content and they're like, "Oh, I never thought of that, but now I am." Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that leads you to more people being interested in what you have to offer and seeing what you have to offer that might not have even, you know, been actively trying to seek you out.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that's the biggest thing probably in my eyes.
I think that's so true too. The way we consume content is different now. Exactly what you're saying. Um, and you know, I don't think reading is necessarily dead. I think there's still a place for print.
No.
I think there's still a place for, you know, copy and stuff like that. But like what you're saying, like through a news feed and social media, that's what's most captivating to me every single time. Every single time.
Right. And
And
you still
I,
want to have that print, right? Like
yeah,
that's what you're saying. You still want to
yeah,
have that print to
yeah.
go into, you know, the details and to really explain what you're trying to explain. The video is that quick capture to
Yeah,
get them
exactly.
into reading that text,
Yeah,
that print, that more information about what you provide and what you have to offer. Yeah. So I
yeah,
think it goes hand in hand.
yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like, you know, we're web designers. So the way I think of it is like the capture on the homepage. You've got 5 seconds to really reel somebody in, if that. So it's that
Mhm.
impact moment. It's that wow factor, and video provides that, man. Especially when you do it well. And if you look at Clint's stuff, he does do that well. And so
Appreciate
yeah,
that.
let's say in theory, I procure your services. Walk us through your process from concept to final delivery. Like, how do you, do you have a conversation with your client, and then, I mean, I don't know. You tell me. What does that usually look like?
Yeah, I think it's a little different for everybody, but
Sure.
generally, how I like to the steps I like to take are we set up a discovery meeting, whether I come and talk to you in person or we set up
Hmm.
something on a call, whatever.
Like a Zoom call.
And we really, yeah, exactly. And we really dig into, I ask you a bunch of questions
Yeah,
that really get us both thinking about what is going to be the most effective content for us to produce. Yes, you need video, but what does that mean? You know what I mean? What is that? How are you going to get the ROI from that? How are you going to get your investment to work for you? So that's what we do initially, and then we get all of because you might be thinking one thing, but then you're like, oh, realize through that conversation, oh, actually, I need X, Y, and Z or this thing instead.
yeah,
Well, let's start with that first. You know what I mean? So
nice.
that helps with that. Um, and then from there, I'll typically create or tailor some of my package options
Hmm.
to fit what we're looking to do with your specific business.
Hmm.
And from there, we go like I usually give you a couple options, and then you
Hmm.
can decide like based off of budget and expectation and desired results, what
Hmm.
is the best package to go with. Um, and then we'll pick a film date to capture the content, and I'll write up a scope of work saying, "Hey, this is everything that we're going to do. This is what we talked about. This is what the project is. Have you signed that? That's like our contract. Usually, it's a 50% deposit down before we start filming or anything like that,
For sure.
and then yeah, from there, and again, this is idealistically. A lot of times I feel like the pre-production stuff happens, in that deliberation process too. A lot of
Sure.
pre-production
Yeah.
stuff starts to happen with that. But
Yeah.
then from
Yeah.
there, usually I like to go into pre-production, which is, getting the logistics down, creating scripts, if we have to find talent, looking like collaborating with and finding talent,
Hmm.
location scouting, all that kind of stuff goes into
Hmm.
pre-production. And then from there we go into production, which is the filming of and actually capturing
Hmm.
the content. And
Hmm.
then after that, post production, usually we establish some kind of timeline on when you're needing this done
Hmm.
and what that realistically looks like. Um, and yeah, so I'll that's where all the editing, revisions, all that takes place. And then yeah, you get your deliverables after
Sweet.
that. And then yeah, I mean a lot of the times too, I like to focus on not just hey, what is the video that we need, what would be the most effective, but how would it be the most effective? Where do
Nice.
we need it to be? And that's where you guys come in with websites
Yeah.
and and working and we try to, I always push people into utilizing all of the social platforms
Yep.
because you never know which one is going to take off. You
Mhm.
can get 5 views on Instagram and then TikTok's like 36,000 of the same video. You know what I mean? So,
Right. So true.
yeah.
So true. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's generally the process.
Nice, nice. So in that conversation, I'll bet this comes up too, but I'm curious, how do you help clients move from, hey, we need a video to a clear like results driven strategy?
Yeah, so I have a list of discovery questions. Let's say, it's really questions that just get you thinking about your own company in a different light that you might not be thinking of when we're considering this stuff. So things like, can you describe in your own words what your organization's mission and core goals are right now? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Because that definitely has an effect on what we produce as a video.
Are you ever
Um,
surprised that people can't answer that question? Because I know that I
no,
ask
not
that
really,
question all
because
the time. Yep, yep. Because they don't really think
I'm
about it,
not
right?
really surprised.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
exactly, because
yeah.
people aren't thinking about it. They're thinking about what do I need to do to keep my business running and keep myself, financially where I want to be. That's what
Exactly.
everybody's thinking about with a business, which is fine.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what you should be focused on as a business. But that's why it's my job to come in and make you think about, these things, because it all plays into, what you're trying to portray, what you're trying to say in this video.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's great.
And I mean, I even ask things like, what outcomes are you hoping that your video content will help you achieve? Because
Great.
then, I mean, that's transparent as it comes. What are you wanting from this?
Yeah.
Because that is
Yeah.
going to tell us exactly where we need to
Sure. Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
It's a pretty long list. I don't ask all questions to everybody,
Sure.
but it just depends
Yeah.
on
On the type of
on what I'm
client,
needing
what
to
they
get
need.
out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What are your specific timelines?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, you know, like, how do you determine whether a video content is successful? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
how do you see it as being successful? Like,
Yeah.
what do you determine that to be? So it's just
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That's great.
Just to really dig into really finding what they want, because it's funny sometimes. I've heard of it happening in the past, and
Yeah.
it's happened to me a few
Yeah.
times in the past where it's like, no, that's wrong. It's like,
Oh,
how is it wrong? Like, that's why I've developed these questions, because it's like, I want it to be, I want, because it's so subjective. It's a
yeah.
creative medium,
Right.
like
Right.
I mean, everybody has their opinions
Yeah.
on it once it's done, and what they would do differently.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like it's important to ask these questions.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that's so good. And I mean, you know, I'm sure you have a very similar questionnaire as to us with our creative process in web design. And then with me, I'm a big branding guy, like in just logo design. And people are surprised at like, well, aren't you just like making a little picture with my business name next to it? Like, well, what are you doing? It's like, no, like we're visually communicating who you are and who you want to be, like, and what what encapsulates you and what best visually communicates your brand to a broad audience in the snap of a finger. So it's like, video is the same thing. Like we're talking about that high impact moment, like a couple of seconds captivating your audience in a feed. It's like, um, like I think about like for you, I think about 5 seconds on YouTube. Like if you were making a TV spot, or like in this case, I'm old. We used to make TV spots, but like
Hey,
a
they still
YouTube ad.
exist.
Right, yeah. I How do you even watch TV now? I don't. What is that? My kids
I
probably
see
don't
them
even
all the
know.
time on streaming services,
Yeah, right, right. Yeah,
because
yeah.
because because I'm cheap and I have the commercials play, and also that's another thing too. I like to see,
Yep.
because I do a lot of commercial
Yeah.
production.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like to do that's where I like to focus mostly.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I like to see kind of the
Yeah.
trends in the industry. So,
Right.
I don't like watching commercials, but it is helpful
Yep.
sometimes to see that. So they
Yeah,
are still
exactly.
relevant on streaming services.
Right, right, and it's funny too because for me, it's like I get my junk mail and I'm like, what are these people doing? Is this successful? Are people really going to this dentist from this postcard? Like
Hmm.
that kind of stuff, or
Hmm.
ooh, I really like this mailer. Like, ooh, look at all these little fancy things. Like, um, it's awful, but American Spirit, the cigarette company, they have some of the best mailers. I'm like, oh man. I feel like I should start smoking.
Right?
That's awful, but you know
Where
what
they
I
used
mean?
to
Like high
advertise
impact.
in cartoons to kids.
Right? Like Joe Camel.
Those days are
Uh,
gone now, but
all right. No one sue us
uh,
over this video, please. But yeah, yeah. No, but I think that's so important in commercials is like high impact, especially that first 5 seconds of a YouTube ad that you can't skip. It's like you need to make that brand so unforgettable, or like at least intriguing enough to be like, well, what's this product about? And maybe it's not for them and they end up skipping, but if it is for them,
Mhm.
you need to captivate that audience in such a relatively short amount of time. And so so important, man.
Yep. And if it's
Yep.
done right, I can't tell you how many videos I've watched where I was like, "Why?" I mean, it's interesting, but why am I
Yeah,
watching this? You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yep.
yeah.
I've gotten sucked in a few times too. Like, oh, this
Mhm.
this YouTube ad has been going for 5 minutes now. Like, I'm really,
Yeah, right.
I'm like, oh man,
That's when you know a video is good, is when you have the option to skip and, man, you just keep watching, right? That's what you're
right,
saying.
right. Like, oh man, I've got to get this portable heater that only plugs into an outlet. Like, what have I been doing all my life? Like, wait a minute. No, I don't. So, with that
I
being
know the
said,
big
I
one
think,
for me has been air purifiers.
oh, the air purifiers, yes,
Yep.
yes.
I've been
Like
getting that a lot.
guilty. Like, yeah, like you're like, oh man, my house is full of pollutants and my kids are coughing up a lung. What am I doing? um,
Yeah, yep.
but yeah, that dovetails nice into my next question. So what types of videos are currently performing best, do you think, for a small to mid-sized business?
It it really depends. Like I was kinda
Yeah,
saying earlier, you
yeah,
know, I think that the best thing that small to medium-sized businesses can do is post consistently. Because
yeah,
if you think about Coke, if you think about Head& and Shoulders, you think about Ozempic, right?
yeah.
Everybody knows those names and
True.
those brands because they always see them.
Oh
And that's
man,
what's
such a good
something that
point.
is really, really beneficial to small business owners now is that they have all of these different social media platforms and free
Absolutely.
opportunities to get themselves out there and seen.
Yeah.
And so, really, the biggest thing is just consistency. And I always
Yeah.
preach a variety because, like we were talking about earlier, something can hit on Instagram but not on TikTok or vice versa, you know,
Yep.
or YouTube blows
Yep.
up.
Yep. Yep.
And also, like YouTube is such a great tool for people too because now YouTube is connected to Google and Google Ads.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So when you promote something on YouTube, you're promoting it to all of Google as well as YouTube.
Yeah.
So though
So
I
good.
feel like boosting and putting money into, you know, promoting some certain videos that you really are like, this is an important thing I want people to see, or like promo-esque videos, or if you have sales going on, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those That's going to be a really beneficial, cheaper option for you
Yep.
to have tons of eyes on it, on your video, and hence your business,
Yeah.
without doing those, you know, more gate kept mediums. Which it's funny how broadcast is still kind of like that, you know, like
Yeah.
when you have
Yeah.
all these free options,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And they charge you so much to run a broadcast ad. It's like, well, I could get more views on YouTube, you know. And so
Dude, right.
leaning into that,
Yeah. I could spend $50 and get this off of a broad scope and man, I'd be singing in 5 days off of this thing.
mhm.
So, like that is kind of dead. Like get with it, broadcast television. Per Sean and
But I
Clint.
mean, at the same
Yeah.
right, right. And at the same time, you know, just think about what makes your business unique, right?
Mhm.
So, like, what do you offer? What
Yeah.
can you offer as a
Yep.
smaller business that
Yep.
Coke can't provide or is not willing to? You
Right.
know, even the experience, the ingredients,
Yeah.
whatever it may be, lean into that because that is going to be your niche, right? And that's what
So good. Yep.
um, people are going to connect with, right? And that's what's going to
Yeah.
set you apart and make people want to use your business over those bigger brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they need to have, we're constantly bombarded with advertisements and this business, like we're information overload constantly,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah. For
as
sure.
annoying as it is, it's true. And why those brands are successful is because
Yep.
of the repetition. I mean, you
Yep.
go on social media, you see an ad. You go on, you watch TV, you see an ad come up. I mean, you're seeing it everywhere in a
Yep.
single day. You're seeing it 3 times a day, you know, not let alone 3 times in a week, which
Yeah.
is, you know, the standard to get somebody to remember,
Yep.
you know, something off the top of their head. So yeah, I would say just repetition and finding that what makes your company unique and what drives you as a business owner. You know, we want to see real, you know, things. As much as AI is out there, it's we
Right.
people love connecting with the authenticity of, especially when it's a small business. I mean, we're not going to
Absolutely.
talk to a robot. We're going to talk to you. We're going to talk to, like, what makes it. unique, which is you and your passion. So
Right, right. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's so good. So with all these, options and information overloads, can you share a success story where video significantly impacted a client's growth or brand visibility or, just a general success story in general?
yeah, sure. So one of my clients, we've been producing monthly content for them for their socials
Uh-huh.
for about a year and a half now.
Nice.
And that's something I always tell people is even in 6 months' time, it's hard to project really what the possibilities of this could be because it takes
Uh-huh.
a while for the algorithm to recognize you, find where you need to be, find who needs to see you, and see your worth and show that you're engaged constantly to then push you out and you get that real growth.
Yeah.
Um, so but so they've been with it for like a year and a half now.
Nice.
Um, one of their videos
I'm gonna share your
we
website here while we're talking.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
This is Clint's
yeah,
demo
so
reel
so
here.
one of their
Yeah.
oh yeah, so
Sorry.
one of
Yeah.
their reels we produced as a promo, and so it was less like just quick tippy authentic, but it had those elements to it, but it also
Mhm.
had, more of a, come check us out. This is the services we provide, a little bit more promo esque, but
Yeah.
we did it in a way where or wasn't completely salesy because a lot of the times people, they see that and that's
Yeah.
it. Like they
Yeah.
don't want to be sold anything too. So you want to bring that authentic appeal while also, giving the information that you're trying to get out there. And so with that video, she saw like over 530,000 views on YouTube, almost 900 likes on that.
Nice.
And so that was great exposure. And then we have also had videos where, because we like to switch up the content and keep it like
Hmm.
there's specific themes that we like to follow
Hmm.
that work within the industry.
Yeah.
Um, but but yeah, like if you can show interaction with your clientele or your customers, that's a huge thing. And so that is something where they have actually gotten new work from videos that we've posted during certain client interactions where
Hmm.
people that are, within the same demographic or like potentially in the same situation, they see this come up on their feed and they're like, oh, well,
Yeah.
like that's I'm kind of dealing with that. So like maybe this is who I need to reach out to get that. So they've seen new business from those kinds of videos, just showcasing what they do and giving that inside look,
Uh,
before people even open the door. I mean, we know how this new generation is. They don't even like to make eye contact, let alone walk into a door and ask questions. So they
er,
want as much information that you can provide ahead of time,
yeah.
to make people have make that decision before, they even show up. That's what you're looking to do, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I am kind of running out of time. I did want to ask, man, and time flies around here. We could,
I know I talk
Clint
a
and I
lot.
could.
Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's why we're here, man. We could talk all day. But I wanted to ask you this kind of fun question here because I thought this would be a fun little non sequitur to share kind of on our way out the door. But what's been your most memorable or challenging shoot? Was there ever a time where like everything was going wrong, or maybe it was everything was going right? But yeah, I'm curious to see what you might say there.
Yeah, I was hoping you would ask this question,
Yeah, yeah,
because it's
yeah.
fun. But so I would say probably one of my most challenging shoots
Uh-huh.
was when I was filming inside of Cave of the Winds,
Uh-huh. Oh.
and we were filming for the Lantern Tour, which I
Oh.
don't know if anyone
Yeah.
watching
Yeah.
knows about that.
If you know,
But basically, yeah, I mean, Cave of the Winds is cool in and of itself, and there's some tight spots in there, even just on the normal tour. But with the Lantern Tour,
Yeah.
you are going down a rabbit hole, basically, of a tunnel, and you are having to squat down and almost crawl to get to
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
caverns
Yeah. Yeah.
of the caves.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, I had my gimbal, I had my camera on top of that, everything was built out, and I have this big rig,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going through the caves, and they're like, "Okay, cool, we're gonna go
Y
into this portion of the cave for the lantern tour now." And
uh-huh.
so I'm having to carry and balance my camera like this
Oh
and
my gosh.
crouch down and like crab walk down through the tunnels. The
Yeah.
footage, honestly, I think
Yeah.
it's in one of my reels,
Yeah,
that I
yeah, yeah.
put it on there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, it came out good. But man, I tell you what, I got home from that shoot
Yeah.
and I got in the house
Yeah.
like after didn't have any of my equipment in hand, and
Ah.
my all my muscles in my legs just went and I just fell
Oh!
to the ground and I was
Oh,
like, water,
no.
I need
Oh.
water.
Oh, no.
uh so so yeah, that was a very challenging shoot, and also to even see where you're going so you don't trip
Right.
and smash your camera. Oh yeah, that was so yeah, that's probably one of the most challenging shoots that I've ever had. And
Yeah.
then probably for the most memorable,
Mm.
I was working on it just last year, actually. I was working on a national brand campaign for an international underwear company,
Oh.
which really cool because it's an international underwear company, but the owner is local.
Oh, super cool.
So that's yeah, it was awesome to be introduced to them and do some work because we actually filmed a lot of stuff here in Woodland Park, even though we were on set and we built out sets for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great because it was just 5 minutes for him, 5 minutes for me, and it worked out. But anyway,
Right.
um,
Isn't that what's
yeah,
cool about
that
Colorado
was
is like you can go on any location and be like, yeah, nature's set is pretty rad out here. So
right. I
but
know,
yeah.
and it was so funny because we were for that video.
Uh-huh.
Basically, it was like almost a 3 minute long video, or maybe it was a little over 3 minutes. I'm
Oh, cool.
forgetting, but for the whole thing, and it was kind of like that Squatch esque, like the
Oh,
Squatch soap
yep.
kind of
Got it.
like feel.
Yep,
That's what
yep,
we were
yep.
kind of going for.
Nice.
Um, and so it's like a long video that all flows sequentially together. But from that, we had 8 different scenes or so, and so from that we could create smaller bite-sized content
Yep.
to be put
Yep.
out on social media and everything like that. So,
Super cool.
but that was really cool because that was something where we had a whole crew, we had a lighting guy, we had multiple cameras, we had actors, we had everything. Like we had a location which was our set, basically multiple locations.
Yep.
And that was a funny one too because, like I was saying, we had shots that are indoors and outdoors,
Ah,
and so we
cool.
were gonna try and get capture everything in one day, which
Uh-huh.
now looking back at it was unfeasible, really.
Uh,
It kind of worked
ambitious,
out
we
good the
call
way
it.
that it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 ambitious. So it kind of worked out good the way that it did, but yeah, at the we were filming everything indoors, and we're like, okay, we're supposed to be shooting outdoor stuff, and it's just hammering down snow. And
Oh,
it was like 6 inches or more that day. And so that's what we ended up pushing it, but like the
right?
outdoor stuff to a different day.
That's
But yeah, that's something where, we have that ability to just go and create
yep.
um the more just low key shoots, and then all the way up to national brand advertising campaigns. You know what I
Very
mean?
cool.
And that's also something. I mean, maybe this is a good time I can kind of segue into
Yeah.
you know what we were talking about at the beginning, and just
Mhm.
the sense of community and
Yeah.
the sense of net of how important networking is,
Yep.
as a business, especially as a creative agency,
Yes.
like
Yes.
it can be, as we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast, it can be very gate kept. It can be
Yep.
very, this is right, that's wrong,
Yeah.
and industry secrets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's always kind of bothered me a little bit about the industry.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I'm actually a part of a group in Colorado Springs called SVC, or Springs Videographer Co-op, and it's about 10 of us in the industry that meet monthly, and we're all in different facets. Some of us have our own production companies like myself, and do full service stuff. So other people are drone pilots, some photographers, but it's people that are within the industry. um, and it's just such a great resource
Mm.
because we are all of the like mindset of like mindset of being not like that. We don't want it to be
Yeah.
gate kept. We don't want it to
Yeah.
be all like such a segregated industry. And
Yeah.
so that's like our big goal is to get that information out there and to
Awesome.
brainstorm with ideas and help each other out when it does come to things like that where we might be a smaller company, but then we
Uh-huh.
can accomplish huge projects like that
Yeah.
because we have that collaborative ability of others that are in the industry that are really good at what they do.
I
And
love that.
collectively, we can create something way more impactful, something so much better
Yeah.
than individually sometimes, you know what I mean? And just having that camaraderie
Mm.
and the insight, that's something I draw a lot of my creativity off of our conversations. I know that, you know, that goes hand in hand with, how they feel about it as well. And so we used to do more and we're trying to get back into it because we used to do uh by or sorry quarterly meetups where we would
Mhm.
try to have more of an encompassing, like, anyone in the industry is welcome to join.
Cool.
Um so we want to get more people involved, but we've kind of taken a step back from that recently just because it hasn't been as mm, like the turnout hasn't been exactly what it used to be. So we're trying
Good.
to figure out new ways to
Mm.
involve the community because that's what we want to build here in Colorado Springs. We want it to be more
Yeah.
of an inclusive, like, we want the best stuff to be coming out of this place,
Dude,
whatever that
right.
means, and whatever that means for the individual business also,
Yeah.
like, if I'm not gonna if I know somebody that's gonna do it better and that's what you really want, I will always, suggest the person that is going to be the best fit for the job.
That's cool.
Um,
That's cool.
but yeah, it's great. It's great to have that community, and it's something that I preach, and I think that it's really important to change the tides of what has been the norm for so long in this
Yep.
industry.
Very cool. Well, that's about all the time we have for today here, Clint. It's so great to meet you and to get to know your business a little bit and to connect a face with everything that we got going on here. Definitely check Clint out at turningtreeproductions.com. Check out his reels, see what his business is all about and how he can help you launch yourself into the awesomeness that you fully can tap into. But for now, I have a little sign off that I like to say, and that is we're trending upward, Colorado Springs. And again, thank you so much for being with me today, Clint. Great to
Thank
have
you,
a
Sean.
chat with you. All
Yeah,
right,
of course. Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
cool,
I love
cool,
that you do this. It's such a great resource for businesses in the area. So keep
dude.
up the good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And you keep up the awesome work. I don't know a whole lot of video people somehow. My brother does that, but he's a loser and he moved to Austin. So anyway,
Well, let's change that.
exactly. So Clint is an excellent video production resource. But for now, ta ta. And thanks again, Clint.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, bye
Talk
bye.
soon.